What's up, everybody? You are watching the J Red Show on TikTok and YouTube. It was a successful weekend for Buffalo sports. Bills, Sabres, Amerks, and Bandits all victorious. Except for the Sabres on Friday. I'll get to that later. But start with the Bills, who defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-7. Pittsburgh was up 7-3 at halftime after Patrick Queen took a fumble recovery from James Cook. And, at halftime, I was feeling pretty glum. But then at the beginning of the third quarter, Christian Benford forced a fumble, got his own scoop and score, and then he got an interception later in the game, and Buffalo just dominated the second half. So that's encouraging to see the defense get it right. I mean, granted, it is the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers is shot. But it's still very nice to see the defense do that. It was encouraging to see the offensive line look good and overcome all those injuries. So the Buffalo Bills are 8-4. It's very likely they'll make the playoffs. Very unlikely they'll win the division, as New England's just one win away now. So the Bills have probably going to be the wild card and go on the road. But hey, I know there's a lot of fans who are pessimistic, but I think they can do it. Because every team in the AFC has flaws. New England looks good, but they're feasting off an easy schedule, and they have a lot of injuries. The Colts got exposed. Denver looks bad at offense at times. And the NFL is a crazy league. I thought the Rams on paper are the best team in the NFL, yet they just lost to the Carolina Panthers. So if Josh Allen puts on his Superman cape, they could go all the way. I mean, it does make it frustrating that Bean didn't address the weaknesses. Like, he didn't get a number one wide receiver. There's still a lot of question marks on defense. But again, every team has flaws. The Kansas City Chiefs are in trouble. They might not have to deal with Mahomes and the Chiefs this year. They're 6-6. Yes, I know Buffalo was 6-6 2 years ago. They were okay. But you think there's something wrong with the Bills. Something's not right with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are in a worse position. Baltimore, I mean, they'll have a huge game against Pittsburgh coming up for the division. Lamar Jackson looks shot. You know there's something wrong with Lamar Jackson. So this is wide open. Steelers fans are chanting to fire Mike Tomlin. I mean, this should be the end of the road for Tomlin. I mean, it's just gone stale. The offense couldn't do anything. I mean, I know a lot of Bills fans are worried that McDermott could be the next Tomlin. He'll keep the train on the tracks, keep it competitive, but at some point, he'll go on steal. I mean, I know some fans wanted him to have gone after 13 seconds. I think that would have been an overreaction, but I can understand the concerns. Honestly, I'll think Bean's more likely to get fired. I mean, he does deserve, even though I'm trying to be optimistic and say, hey, maybe this could be the year, he does deserve some criticism for the way the roster's constructed, for not addressing the flaws of this team. I'll say it's about, if the Bills don't win the Super Bowl, I'll say it's about 50-50 that Brandon Beane gets fired. I can see McDermott moving on from Beane. For McDermott, if the Bills don't win the Super Bowl this year, I would give him one more chance. Find a number one wide receiver and find a good offensive coordinator to play Joe Brady. I'll give Brady credit for turning around the Pittsburgh game, but the offense, the passing game's been struggling. There's no excuse for that. You have Josh freaking Allen. Stop playing this William Mary shit with his running the ball and everything. While Steelers fans were chanting to fire Tomlin, Sabres fans on Friday, after a 5-0 loss to the New Jersey Devils, were chanting fire Adams and sell the team Pagula. Then the Sabres beat one of the best teams in the NHL, Minnesota Wild, 3-2 in a shootout. Then they win 5-1 against Winnipeg. That's the crazy thing about the Buffalo Sabres. It seems like they feast on negativity. I remember 2 years ago, fans chanted fire Granato, and the Sabres got hot. On Friday, fans were pissed, chanted fire Adams, sell the team, and they looked pretty good the next 2 games. Now they have go on a huge road trip where they struggle on the road, 6 games, and this is what could make or break the season. It'll get more ugly if they don't win at least half their games in the road trip. I mean, you think there's a lot of fire. And what's crazy is Terry Pegula was in attendance. So, I know a lot of Sabres fans don't have any faith in him. I don't blame you. But you gotta think, how much more can you take, Pegula? When is enough enough? When are you gonna move on from Adams? I mean, okay, he'll have a chance to salvage the season this week. But if they don't, if they go like 1-5 or 0-6, you thought Friday was ugly. It's even uglier. So Sabres fans are in a tough predicament. You want to enjoy these wins. The Sabres should win about 30 games this year. But at the same time, we want Kevin Adams fired. The next thing the Sabres need to do is fire the GM. We're just waiting for that. I mean, he's going to try to save his job, but what good will he do? How is he going to handle the Tuck and Thompson and Darlene situations? They haven't demanded a trade yet, but do you really trust him to handle this situation? And then it'll be interesting to see what happens with the new, if they get a new GM. Will they promote Jarmo Kalainen, or they go outside and promote Brandon Shanahan? I'm hoping there's a quick way to get to the playoffs, that if Adams fires, they can find a suitable replacement. But the Sabres might need to rebuild. And it would suck going another 2-3 years out of playoffs, but fine. Send whatever you can to Rochester and do the rebuild correctly. Amerks got a huge win over Syracuse, 4-3. Casey Myers scored with 5 minutes left, and then with 15 seconds left, Zach Jones gets a goal. And that's a huge win for Rochester to stay in the playoff race. The division title race, I should say. They're currently 12-9 for 24 points. So they're okay. Not bad, but not great. At some point, I would like to see them be great if the Sabres need to rebuild. Again, if the Sabres move on from Adams and get a new GM, just send whatever you can to Rochester if you decide to rebuild. Do the rebuild correctly. Finally, the Buffalo Bandits defeat the Georgia Swarm 15-11. Dane Smith led the way with 4 goals. So again, the Bandits just picked up where they left off last year. And it's just one question, how much more they have in the tank? Can they win a 4th championship in a row? They got a little ugly at times. I do question a lot. Vink did give a lot of bad goals. But for the most part, the Bandits looked like they haven't skipped a beat. So I can see a 4-peat coming. Oh, and I did make a mistake on my last show. I accidentally said there was no 4-peats in the history of the NBA. The Boston Celtics had an 8-peat in the 60s. So, we haven't seen a 4-peat in the Major League Baseball since the 50s. Haven't seen a 4-peat in the NBA since the 60s. Haven't seen a 4-peat in the NHL since the 80s. Never happened in the NFL, not even pre-Super Bowl. And it's never happened in the history of the National Lacrosse League. We will see if the Buffalo Bandits can change that and make history. Because they look pretty good. And they look like they haven't skipped a beat. So, what are your thoughts on this Buffalo sports? Or any sports with Twitter? Hit me on Twitter at JRedShow. Do another show talking about the Buffalo Bills movie and WWE Raw. This is JRed. Hit me on Twitter at JRedShow, and I will see you later.